I'm just going to add this one extra video. So check this, and this is really useful as well, because I talked earlier about how sometimes people just get lucky with meme coins as well. But over a period of time, if you learn even some of the tips from this program, you're going to way outperform 95% of these meme coin traders. And this is an example. I saw here, I noticed there was a big sell, and I was curious who sold and when did they buy. I was just wondering, is that one of those early people? Did they just literally make like 100x or something ridiculous? Curious. So I had a look because I tried to pinpoint this sell. So how do I do that? So a few tips. So if you want to pinpoint a particular trade, like a big trade, what you do, as I've shown you before, is you filter here. So you click on where it says USD, and then what you do is when you click on it, you can filter by over 5,000. So that's what I did. And I've actually filtered over a specific person now. But let me just take that off for a second. Let me clear that. So basically, when you filter over 5,000, it will show all the big trades. And then I scroll back and I'm trying to find that massive trade that would have caused that sudden sell-off. So I have to scroll back a little bit because there's so many big trades now because it's trading like a big meme coin now. So I found it's this one. And then this particular trader, if you want to see all of their transactions, you click on here. But just before that, look, he spent $38,000 on this coin, which is a crazy large amount. And he sold his position, and he has more of a position. But let me just show you something. If you look at the trades, if you look at these trades, you can see that's the sell there. And they may have a little bit more remaining. What's interesting here is when I scroll back, Deck Screen is really cool. It shows you where they bought. So if I hide the sidebar here and actually change this to price rather than market cap, because we've got the exact price they bought in at, 1575, 1793, 14, and they did an earlier buy. So this earlier buy is fine. But even this earlier buy, if you look very carefully, you can see it was at a top. So you bought the top there. Sorry, that's a little bit harsh. It wasn't quite the top. It was a little bit lower than the top. It was 10. So that was a good trade. So he aped in there, and that's fair enough. But these are all literally buying the top. Like all of these three trades. And one of these was, it says here, 1793, where if we mark off and zoom in to 1793, so that's 1800 there, it would have been just below that. I mean, these are crazy purchases. I'm not waiting for any kind of pullback, and this is when it's already pumped and done all of its wave one move. But this is what most people do. It's incredible, and this could easily have collapsed back down, and that 38,000 invested could have turned quickly into only 5 or 10,000. But amazingly, because it's pumped and it's gone up, they've 2x'd from those peaks that they bought, and they've sold, probably sold too quickly, in my opinion. Definitely, I would have taken I have taken smaller sells just to see if this has more legs, because it's only just broken out of all-time highs, and it could be moving on to a new phase in its own journey. We don't know. It could be the top. We don't know for sure. But found it very fascinating. So those are the buys there, and that's the big sell. And it just goes to show you, like, even with luck, sometimes trends in your favor. Meme coins are just, a lot of them are just pumping right now. You could do well. But with a little bit of care, a little bit of understanding, you could do a lot better than this. You could be buying at more appropriate areas. You could actually even be involved in things like this in wave one, which is what I've been teaching you. So that's why most of our strategies, if you look through the playbook, they're actually in wave one, not wave three. Wave three is for those kind of bigger trades, more established collections. But even this has only been trading for 2 days. It's not particularly established at all either. So I hope you learn a few things from this, and also you learn kind of how to research other people as well, because I'm always fascinated. You click here on top traders, always fascinated to see where people are buying into positions, where they're selling. And remember, even here, a lot of people still have big balances. Like, this is crazy. This person who bought for $400, these are the ones that interest me. And again, these are sometimes luck as well. I mean, this could be a brand new trading account. We don't know. I mean, we could research it more, obviously, but they've sold. So they took some profits, and they've got a lot of unrealized profit potentially as well. But let's have a look at where their transactions were. So you just click on that same button, and you can see they've been selling a lot a day ago, and then they kind of were selling more 2 hours ago. So just randomly selling all over the place. But yeah, that was the first trade, extremely early. And they bought, interestingly, they bought exactly 5 Sol, which is a really nice round number to kind of ape in with in most coins, anywhere from 2, 3, 4, or 5 Sol. And their first sell, if you look at that 2 days, 2 hours ago, was after an hour. After an hour, they were already selling part of their position for 2,000. And then since then, it's been selling, and made a lot of money. But if you have a look on the chart here, it is a little bit of a mess, if I'm honest. But these sells, excellent. Like some initial sells, probably just to take out their initial investment and make sure that's covered. So they did that easily, that's done. But even the buys are a little bit suspicious. It may have been obviously a wallet involved in the collection. It could be a creator wallet. I've not done my full research. I've not jumped onto the bots and stuff like that. I'm just saying. But if it was a genuine purchase and somebody sniped at the beginning and they took a few sales there and then just held, took more selling there, then yeah, it's an incredible trade. I mean, they sold some here probably because they were panicking, I could imagine, in terms of what might happen. And then when they saw the breakout, they held on, which is really good. But then they sold a whole lot here and it kept on running. Probably because they sold there. Probably because it was back at all-time highs, which I've told you is a good time where you might sometimes see some selling. So that makes sense. But you wouldn't want to sell so much. How much did they sell last few positions? No, to be fair, it was small amounts. It wasn't anything crazy. So it was these 4 sales. So nothing. It's probably like a couple of grand or something like that. So yeah, this is how you do it. And this one trade for this person, this man or lady, literally has made their entire trading account. It doesn't matter what they do for meme coins for 2024. It's very difficult to lose all of this money now. As long as they keep just doing this, just taking these smaller positions in wave ones and then selling in an appropriate manner where they keep protecting. Because even here, if we dumped all the way back down, they were covered. They sold a lot of their position. And then if it really looked like it wasn't going anywhere, they could still keep selling for profit. Because it was always going to be over where they initially bought in. So it's some really good trading here, as you can see. And I learn a lot sometimes when I look through top traders and I just see where they bought and sold, because I just want to see if there's any kind of thought process behind what they're doing as well. So you should do that too from time to time. Thanks for listening.